So here are the Tableau data sources that are available. Let's click on those data sources. If we drag it down, we can see the saved data sources of Tableau. So let's log into the database. It's taking some time. Yeah, so now we can see this particular data. So let's put customer name over here. So let's write replace function. I'll consider the customer name. I want to replace, let's say, AN with let's say EN. So wherever there is AN, I want it to be replaced with, let's say, let's change this N also, EH. Say apply and put this replace over here. So wherever there is AN, that will be automatically replaced with EH. So this, and let's go to here and let's select string. And yesterday we stopped discussing about this regular expression. So let's see how this regular expression works. So let's create a new calculation. We don't use that regular expression much, but let me explain you how it works. So regular expression. So what it does is, so it will look for certain pattern. So let's say here is a pattern. So ABC123 or something like if you see email IDs, we will get some email IDs like @Gmail or @Yahoo.com or @ some organization.com. So you will get there is a pattern for any particular data that you have. If you see our bank transactions, you will see certain pattern for that particular bank transaction. So in such cases, what we do is we mention that pattern over here. So if you see in this particular ABC123, the pattern is, so it is taking A to Z. So here they might enter some A to Z letters. So we need to specify A to Z. And there is a space in between. And we need to mention that space as well. So to mention that space, we need to use this backslash and yeah. And we need to tell that we are using some numbers. So to say that are numbers, so we need to mention like this. So this is a pattern. So we need to mention these in quotes. Okay, so this is the pattern that we have. So whenever you have, let's say ABC123, so you will be able to see, let's say you want to separate 1 to 3 from that. So let's go to a new sheet. We put this regular expression. Yeah. So if you have data like this, so you will be able to connect to this particular information and get the data in such a way. So let's say you might have some D over here. Still you will be able to get the pattern. So let's create some sample data for that. So in Excel, I'm creating one sample data. Okay, and let me take pattern. And there is also, let's say, sales or let's say amount. Okay, so let's I will enter ABC 123 and DBT 123 and 123 or 325 something like this. So this is my data 450, 550. It's like let's say you have a bank transaction. This is let's say this is a bill number and this is some ABC organization or ABC hotel or something like that. So if you have this type of data, and let's say I'm saving this particular data, and we'll save this as pattern and save. So if I'm taking this particular data to the Tableau, okay, and I'll connect to that particular Excel file, pattern. So Tableau will automatically pick this sheet one. And let me go to sheet 3. So if I put pattern 3 here and the amount, so I could see this amount. But what if I want to separate these two? So if there is a pattern, if you want to separate that particular thing, there is a way where we can do that. So if we can use regular expression where we select pattern and mention the pattern as, so what is there in the starting, A to Z, A to Z, comma, there is a space, space plus we want to write the numbers. To get the numbers, we need to do this. Okay. So this is what our regular expression. So let's put that. So in that way, what it does is you are getting this particular values. So separated. So this is how we can create a regular expression calculation. So this we don't use it much. So why we don't use it much? Let's say you have this pattern and you want to separate this. So there is a direct option which is available, which is a split. So you can do a split over here. You can do a custom split or you can do a normal split. So what it does is it automatically splits to two different things. Let's say it is separated with a space, right? So now it is, let's say you put this split one. So which you will get the starting letters and pattern split two. So which you will get the next set of reports. So this is how you can directly transform the data by just going into transform and do a split. So if you go to custom split, so instead of separating it with a space, you can put some full stop or you can put any slash symbols or anything. If you have any full stops or anything in the data, so you can separate it with that particular data. So this is how we can make use of this regular expression, but we don't use it much because apart from using the regular expression, there are other calculations where we can use the split function. So split function is also one of the string function. So which automatically writes this particular calculation. So let me write it and show you the split function. Okay, so let me take this pattern or let's go to our superstore data. Okay, and let's take customer name. Okay, and I'll write split. So I want to split first name and last name. So here we have a first name and last name. So I'll write split. So I'll write split and customer name. And so the separation is based on space. I'll give space. And then I want the second name first. Okay. So I'll write this as split last name. So I will say apply. So split last name. So here you will get Bergman.
After the customer name, you give me the single quotes, right? It's gonna separate the values.
Yeah, so I'm just telling the Tableau that here is a separation based on space.
Okay. And you
So
gonna give the space here?
yes,
Okay.
let's
And
say if
why
I'm
you
putting,
uh-huh.
if I put dash, so there is no dash here, right? It is not separated with dash, so you
Yeah.
won't get any. You'll get null. It is
Okay.
separated with space only. So I'm telling
Okay.
Tableau that I have a data which has a space in between. I want to split it based on the space.
Okay.
So if I don't put space also, it will not take. See, I'm getting error.
No.
So we need to mention what it is separated with.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll tell you one example for dash.
And also, why do you put the 2?
Yeah, this is the second position. You want the first split or you want the second split? See, we have two splits, right? If you split this
Yes.
thing,
Oh, yeah.
you will get Aaron and Bergman. You want the Aaron or you want Bergman? That information you need to. Let's say if you put
Okay. Okay.
one,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, like this.
Yeah.
So that is what. Let's say, yeah. So this is one thing. I will show you one example for dash as well. So customer name. I'll create a calculator for that. I'll write replace first of all. So if in the data, if you have dash, so I'm first I'll replace that space with dash.
Okay. Then
Yes.
it will show the head.
Then it
Underscore.
will be
Sorry.
separated with dash. See, instead of space, I'm putting.
Oh. Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. No.
Now I will write split function for this separated with dash. Split for dash. So now I have to write split separated with the dash where it is separated with dash only. So I need to mention that dash.
Yeah.
Then I want the first one.
First one.
When I
Okay.
say apply, if I put this, so I'll get the first name from here. So in
Yeah.
case of this particular column, if I put space,
Okay. It's
will I
comes
be getting
space. Oh no.
I don't get anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now it.
We need to mention that this is separated with dash, so that so Tableau should
Oh.
understand. Right? You are trying to split it, but what are you trying to split on basis of what? So that we need to mention.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you split again, you need to put another query, right?
Yeah, correct. And okay, so that is about display. And there is one more thing that we can do. Let's say we have different names together. Let's say in case of now, let's say this, but you have these two columns, right? Split last name and split for dash. So these two are
Okay.
two
Basically
different
same, right?
names. You want
Yeah.
to combine
Same.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First name and last
So
name. Yeah.
let's say
One person.
from data itself you are getting differently. So you can combine that also. I'll show you how to combine that.
Okay.
So split with, okay. Just select those two, control select those two, and
Okay.
go to create, and you can create a combined field.
Combined field. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So now you will get a combined field. Combined field based on comma, or you
Okay.
can edit that as well. Edit combined field. Yeah,
Yeah.
instead of comma, if you want to put space, you can put like this. So it is changed. So this is how there are some transformations which we can do by just doing right click and we can do the transformations.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's go to string and okay. Okay, so we haven't discussed about atom. So let's discuss about atom. So if you have any spaces after the letters, then you can remove those spaces by writing the atom function.
What is RTRIM?
So yesterday we have discussed about LTRIM, so which removes left side spaces.
Oh.
So let's. Okay, so rtrim is the function where we can remove the right side spaces. So I'll create some data. I'll just create if customer name is equals to Aaron Bergman. So let's take this simple one. Control C, pick last name.
Yeah. And one more thing. Actually, no. Why we are putting like open braces and
This
small braces? Oh yeah, is braces for the every time we write the function, right? Calculations or anything. Is it
okay.
mandatory to write?
See this thing. Let's say this is the field which is there already, or which is coming from the database, or it might be a calculation.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll just show
Then
you.
we should. Yeah. Anything comes from the database, we need to put the bracket, right? Then,
Uh, we need to put the
for
bracket
example,
or
if you take the
directly
yeah, for
see.
example, if you take the customer name, right, you need to put that
Mhm.
one in the bracket.
Yes, you don't need to do that. It will already. You can see that name, right? When you are typing customer name, so
Okay.
in the dropdown, it automatically comes. You can just click on enter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it automatically
Uh,
keeps in the uh,
yeah. For the
square
split
brackets.
function, yeah, I know you are writing every time the brackets and that's why I'm
So
curious how this one works.
so split function. So this open and close brackets are like that is mandatory.
Okay,
So
for the
if you
split
see,
function,
not only split function for every function, so there is a
for every
pattern that
function.
you, if you see
Okay,
on the right side,
yeah,
so this is how you need to write any function. So you will see
okay,
how this function can be written. So split
yeah,
in the brackets, you need to mention the column name and
okay.
what it is separated
Column
with.
column name must be single quotes or because before we didn't give the single quotes, right?
No, no, column name, it will show you. It
No,
has to be in the square brackets.
square
Here,
brackets. Okay, column.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's what
Tableau,
I'm
they are
asking.
giving some example.
Yeah,
So
column name
this,
should be in the square brackets. Okay,
yes.
okay, yeah,
And rest of the thing is similar to what Tableau is showing here. You have to put that in single quotes,
okay,
and the number has to be number
okay,
like that.
yeah, yeah,
And this is the result that they are showing.
yeah.
Okay,
Now, yeah, now I got little, yeah.
okay, no problem. So I'm just creating a calculation field. If split last name is equals to around.
For this, you didn't put the open braces, right? Open brackets.
This is the calculation field. This one, this column.
Oh, if it is already calculation field, we can't put the open braces then, right?
See, open braces is only when you are using functions.
But
So this is not a
oh, okay,
function. This is a column name.
okay, okay, yeah, okay,
So what I'm trying to do here is, so when this column is equals to around, I want to put some spaces after that around name to show that art in functionality.
okay,
Okay. So I'm
yeah,
just changing or manipulating this particular around name. So
okay, yeah,
whenever this becomes errand, then I want to write
space,
errand and some spaces.
yeah,
Okay. Else I want
yeah,
the same column itself, split last name. And okay, and I will use this calculation one. And I'll put this calculation one next to that name. So there are some spaces after that name, but we are not able to see. Yeah, here you could see the spaces.
okay, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
and now I will write ordering calculation on top of this calculation one. So ordering. So this ordering is a function. Now I will keep this
yeah,
open
yeah.
and close
Remove the right
braces.
spaces. Yeah, it can remove the right spaces, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So now
art.
I will take this calculation one.
Okay.
So calculation one is a column. So that is why
Yeah.
it's coming in the square brackets.
Okay.
Okay. So and I'll click on apply. So I'll keep this R trim next
Oh,
to the
okay. You
calculation
just
one.
put the argument column. Okay.
Yeah. Now I named this column as a R trim.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you understand the difference between a column and a function, right? So if
Yes.
it is
Yes.
a
Yes.
column,
Yeah.
you will
Column.
get first.
Columns. Yeah. I can tell that. Yeah. Column will comes from the data in the function what we create in the calculation field.
Yes, correct. Now let's see whether the spaces are removed or not. So edit alias.
Yeah.
Yeah, now the spaces are removed.
Yeah.
So this is how we can identify or remove the spaces in the
Yeah.
calculation.
Yeah.
So I'll show
Yeah.
you why
I
we do
use
this.
the yeah. I use the
Mhm.
aliases in a SQL. Give the space.
Yeah. You're asking a question?
No. 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 I'm telling that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I'm using like 3 4 days back.
Okay. And I'll show you. So in case of
Yeah.
if you are observing it, so we don't identify whether we have spaces or not. Let's see how we can check that. So split last name equal to calculation one.
Okay.
Okay. If these two are matching, we will get as true. If these two are not matching, then we get as a false. So let's see.
Oh, okay.
Let's put here.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. False. Yeah.
Adam is not matching. False. Adam is matching because we don't
Yeah.
have spaces.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I understand.
Mhm.
Just you want to give the equal to, then it gives the or false function, right?
Yes,
Just you.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Space. So we also have a function called space, and it is to insert space, or we can keep by using the space symbol as well. But here, if you want to mention like 10 spaces or 200 spaces, we can just mention the number and you will get those number of spaces. So let's say if we take an example of Aaron Bergman itself, I'll use a replace function, which is customer name, and I will use, so I'm applying this space calculation, and I'll put the next to the customer name. Just replace it with 10 spaces, but I will need to put space over. So there is a space in between Aaron and Bergman. So that single space will now get replaced with 10 spaces. I'll say apply. Yeah. So now it is replaced with 10 spaces. In the same way, I can put like if I want to separate with 100 spaces, so it will get separated with 100 spaces. So this is how we can specify a number of spaces here. So with the normal, let's say we can manually also we can put spaces here. Let's say you have kept two spaces, but we can't let's say automatically put 100 spaces, right? So instead of that, you can just mention, let's say space of 10. So 10 spaces will be there like this. So this is how we can make use of space. That is one function, and let me create a new one. String, and yeah, split function. So split function we have discussed, and let's go to starts with. Yeah. So starts with is the function where we can assign, let's say, to identify whichever it starts with. Let's say starts with, if I'm taking current name, and let's say I want to identify the customers whose name starts with Aaron or whose name starts with Adam. So to identify that, let's say I'll put this. So if I'm using this, it will show me the customer whoever starts with Adam will be shown as true. Will be shown as true, and rest others will be shown as false. So there are only three names. It starts with Adam. So let's click on this and see what all names are there. So there are only three names. It starts with Adam. And we can write multiple calculations like this. So if customer if starts with Adam, then Adam, else customer name. So these are normal basic calculations that we can write. So which will replace the, so whenever there is a customer who starts with Adam, it will just show Adam, and for others it will show the complete customer name. Yeah. So this is how we can convert any particular string or any particular calculation by making use of starts with. So this is one thing, and create a calculator field, and let's see how starts with works. Okay, so we have seen example for R trim and L trim. So now let's discuss about trim. So LTrim and RTrim will remove the values of the spaces in the left side. RTrim will remove the spaces in the right side. In case of trim, what it does is it will remove the left and right spaces. So whatever spaces are there in left or right, it will remove. So if you see the example here, so budget has some spaces in the left side and budget has some spaces in the right side. So in that case, what happens is it will remove those spaces and it will give you normal or characters value. So now let's see. So I think we have created a calculation one here, which has right spaces. And in the same calculation, I will put left spaces also. Calculation one, I will put some spaces in the left side. Okay, say apply. So you can see a change over here. So now we have spaces in the left side and we also have spaces in the right side. Say okay. Okay, so this is how we can see the spaces. And yeah, now let's write this calculation, which is a trim calculation. Trim of calculation one. Yeah, this should be sufficient. Say okay and click on trim calculation one. Yeah, so now it has removed the spaces which are there in left side and right side. So let's see how it is removed. Edit alias. Yeah, so this is how we can remove the left and right spaces by using trim. So there is sometimes we get data like that where we get spaces in the data. So to remove those spaces or to adjust the data or to transform the data in a way where we can use it for our calculations. So let's say as we have done for matching. So when you want to compare one column with another column, so it is mandatory to remove the spaces or unnecessary spaces which are there in the data. And that's about trim. And we have a calculation which is upper calculation, or so which converts the characters into uppercase. And we have seen one more function which is lower, which converts characters into lowercase. So now let's see how to convert customer name. Apply, and let's use uppercase and put it over here. So it converts all the letters into uppercase. So there are some similarities for few of the functions. So yeah, so lower and upper. So if you see lower, it converts all the functions into lower, I mean all the letters into lowercase, and upper is a function where it will convert all the letters into uppercase. And in case of trim, we have left trim, we have right trim, which removes left and right spaces, and normal trim is it will remove both the right and left spaces. And this is for the position, to identify the position. Let's say from left side, first 10, if you want first 10 letters, so if we use left function, and mid is a function where you can get the letters somewhere in between. Let's say from fourth position, you need all the letters. You can just mention mid of the column name, comma, fourth position. Or if you want from fourth position, you want only 2 or 3 letters, there also we can mention 4, comma 2. So then it will show us uh, from fourth position, whatever are the 2 letters, it will show us. And right is a function where we can get last n letters. Let's say last 2 letters if you want, or last 3 letters if you want, we can mention that and then we can get that information. So these are the similar type of functions which has coincidence. So with that, we have completed these string functions and number functions. And yeah, so this is about all the string functions, and these are the number functions that are there. So with that, we have completed all the string and number functions. Let's see in the PPT. Okay, so we have covered replace, trim, space, and split functions, and how to create a string and all by using order IDs. These are some of the data flow that are there. And yeah, so this is some example for the Canada data, which is provided by the, let's say I'll show you one more data. Let's go to create. Okay, so these are the sample data which are available. And let me open world indicators. Okay, so here we have some set of data which has some similar type of dimensions where we can create information. Okay, and there are some certain symbols where we see and identify which data type it is. So let's go to sample superstore. Okay, so if we click on this customer and we see this symbol ABC. So symbol ABC denotes that it has a string. Symbol ABC string function, string data type. And if we have equal to symbol before any field, that means it's a calculated field. It's a calculated field, meaning it is not coming from the notebook. It is not coming from the database. So if you see here, so customer name segment. So these all are coming from database. So this is the information which is already there in the database and separated with dash. This is the calculation that we have written. So let me click on this edit. Okay. So if you see here, this is a calculation field. And in case of segment, if you go and see, you click on describe. So we will get to know what is it. So it is a column which is a discrete dimension, and type, it is a database column. So it is coming from the database. And what is the information that is there? So it has this consumer, corporate, home office. These are the members of that particular column. And from where it is coming from, locally, United States. So all this information will be available for that particular column. But in case of the calculated field, if you see, here also we can go and see the describe. And we can see that information, and type it is showing as calculated field. So this is a calculated field, and this is not coming from the database. So whenever there is an equal to symbol for any particular string data type or date data type or any particular data type, so you will see this particular equal to symbol. So that means we can edit that calculation field or we can use it for any other calculations. So that is about ABC symbol. And we also have this T by F, which will be as you click on this. So you are getting some true or false. That means this is a Boolean function. So whenever it is denoted with a T by F symbol, T by F symbol, that means it's a Boolean function. So Boolean function in the sense it will compare two different things and it will show you whether it is true or false. So whenever it is it satisfies that condition, then it will show you if it is satisfying the condition. The condition will show as else false. Okay, so that is the main use of T by 8. So if we go and open that particular calculation, so if you see there is an equal to symbol before that particular T by 8. That means it's a calculated field. And let me click on this describe button. So here you could see type as calculated field, and you can see the values. It contains only true and false, and you can see the formula. So the formula says we are comparing two dimensions, whether they are equal or not. Yeah, so that is about T by F, and yeah. So the symbol which you see these boxes identify hierarchy. So hierarchy in the sense countries will have states, states will have cities, cities will have postal codes. So when I say hierarchy, so let me click on country. So under United States we have different states, and in each and every state we will have different cities. In each and every cities will have different postal codes. So this is the hierarchy, and so Tableau will automatically identify this hierarchy, and it has kept created a folder for that. And whenever there is a hierarchy, that will be denoted with this particular symbol. So that is about hierarchy, and while using hierarchy, as we discussed in the previous session, so we can expand and collapse like this. So even user can access this particular hierarchy functionality. So if we want to expand this United States and want to see the data state-wise and the data by city-wise and by postal code-wise. So if I put sales over here, I can see data by postal code. But I want to see what is the overall value for by country. So this is my overall value 2297201, which is my overall value. By state, if I want to see, this is my value, and I can sort it based on this. And I want to see by city, and now I want to see by. So this is how I can make use of hierarchy. So and this symbol denotes hierarchy function. And okay, and we have a globe symbol. The globe symbol is nothing but that is a geolocation. Geolocation in the sense, if we have that particular symbol, so if we put here, and these two options will be enabled when you have a geolocation. So how we will get this geolocation? So whenever you give some state names or some country names or some city names, so you will get this uh, automatically in Tableau itself. So if you are not writing the names properly, or if you are writing any spelling mistakes in some states, then it won't identify. If you are not writing for all the names, then it won't identify. But if the spelling and everything is correct, Tableau will automatically identify, and it will give you this globe symbol for that particular field. And now let's see whether these locations are identified or not. And let me click on that map. So it will identify those particular locations. So this is how we can, and as we discussed earlier, so longitude and latitude, these are some of the Tableau generated fields which will already be there. So based on those generated fields only, we can get this information. So that is about globe symbol. And we also have hash symbol. So that symbol which denotes a number data type or float or anything, decimal, all the number related data types will be over here. Let's say float, decimal, number, whole number. So all related to numbers will be over here. So let's click on this and click on describe. So this is a database column, and so if you see in the details, you can see it's a double precision floating point number. So you will have decimals in that particular uh, data type. So that information we can't see it as a notation, but if you go into describe, and you will be able to see that information. And wherever you see this equal to symbol, that means it is a calculated figure. So that is how we can create a profit ratio and all. So can you tell me what T by F stands for? What this symbol represents? That's fine. Okay, so T by F stands for, it's a Boolean function where we can compare two different dimensions. And so that's about T by F and number. So this number includes all the types of number data type. Let's say float and also decimal and also the whole number and everything. Everything almost covers in that as symbol. You could see double precision floating point number. And also, so here there is also an option where we can convert these particular data types. So if you see, these are the data types that are available, and we can change those data types. So if you want to convert some number into decimal number into a number whole, so that we can do. And we can convert, if you think that particular field belongs to date and time or date, then we can convert those columns into related data types. So that option is there. And in case of geographic role, also, we can change that rules from one to other. So by default, some of the options which Tableau will automatically identify. Let's say in case of state, if you see, so state, it already selected the state or province. So for state, if it is selected some country or anything, you can directly go and select over there. But Tableau automatically identifies this thing. So we no need to do that. For city, it automatically selects city itself. And for postal code, it automatically selects zip code or postal code automatically. Let's say, in some cases, you might not be having the right names. Let's say for country, you might not be having the country as the field. Maybe sometimes it might not identify. So in such case, what you do, you go here and select country or region. So in that way, we can convert even the geolocation as well. So that's about today's session about the string functions and the number functions. And in tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss about the date functions, and I'll show you that functions that are going to discuss. Session we are going to discuss the rest of the functions which are available here. Okay, then we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.